Welcome to Backyard Adventures. So I'm sitting in my backyard and I hope you're in your yard too. If you don't have a yard, that's okay though. You just need to find some small space, outdoor space where you can visit often and you can get to know that space. It can be any park, or if you live in an apartment, maybe there's a courtyard. If it can just be anywhere that you can find where there aren't a lot of people, because we need to be able to just kind of be alone in our space, and we're just going to get to know our space. So what you'll need today is a blanket to sit on because the grass is a little damp today, and a piece of paper, and what would really be handy is a clipboard. But if you don't have a clipboard, it's okay. You might just want to use like a book or something so that you can put your paper on. So I've got my clipboard, I've got some paper on my clipboard, and then you need something to draw with. I'm going to start today with just a pencil, but if you want to use a marker or a crayon, you can. So today what we're going to do is just kind of look at our space in a big way. What shape is it? What's on our space? We're going to make a map of our space. So we just really need to kind of look at it in a big way, kind of just stand back a little bit and look around your space. And we're going to get to know first the shape of it. And I think the best way to get to know the shape of a space is to walk around it. So go ahead and get up. Take your clipboard with you though, and your drawing thing, because you might want to make some notes as we're walking around. So what you want to look at is if your shape has a border like a fence, then if your space has a fence, it'll be easy to figure out the shape. If it's in a little more open wide area, then really what you're going to want to do is just walk with your feet and walk out your space, and as your feet walk, kind of notice what kind of shape they're making. So my backyard, where I am today, is definitely a square because I walked up and then I turned and I walked over and I turned. I'm going on another straight line and then I'm going back. So mine is definitely a square. Have you figured out what shape yours is? Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is just look around at all the things in your space. Are there trees, or are there bushes? Are there big things? And we're only just looking at natural things. So if you have patio furniture, we won't worry about that. So I'm thinking about things like trees, or bushes, or gardens. Is there anything big like that in your space? If you have swing sets or sandboxes, that's great and totally fun, but we're not gonna put those on our map. So take a look around at all the big things. And if your space doesn't have big things, that's okay. Okay. After you figure that out, we're gonna be making a map. So a map is when it's a picture from above. So imagine if you were in an airplane and you were looking down at your space. So what would it look like from up there? And again, I sort of think the best way to really figure out how many trees, how many big things, or if it's wide open, just kind of like how many steps in one side to the next side, is to just get up and walk around your space. So let's do that. I think I have realized that my backyard is a pretty good square. So when I draw my backyard, I'm really going to just be thinking about this square. But what I'm going to be thinking about are the trees. So I've got this tree that I'm sitting right next to, right there. I like that tree a lot because we planted it when we first moved into our house. So I'm going to think about this as being the back part of my backyard, and this is the front. So if I'm looking down, if I'm up above and looking down, I'm going to put that tree right here. And I'm just going to write tree. And over in the corner is an even bigger tree. So I'm going to write tree there. And over on this side of me is this bush it's a pretty big bush, but it's not really a tree, it's a bush. But for a bush, it's pretty big. And then behind it is this little corner of space. So okay, so after you get that done, you can add some color if you want. I brought some markers out. I'm gonna add some color to my map. And then after you make your map, I want you just to like sort of look out at your space and draw a picture of the space. Put your trees in it, put the grass in it. If you don't have big things like trees or bushes, then I bet there's some grass or something you can put in it. And you can also put yourself in it if you'd like. The last thing I want to talk to you about is a notebook. It's going to be great if you have a notebook for backyard adventures, because that will be a good place to just keep your thoughts and ideas and pictures or anything that you want to write about or draw about. So today, and it can be any notebook. It could be like an old school notebook that you're not using anymore, or maybe your mom and dad have an extra notebook. It can be any sort of notebook. And if you don't have a notebook, don't worry. You can just do this on paper, and when we're all done, you could staple those papers together. If you have like a folder or a file that you can just keep all those papers in, then we can make a notebook at the end. So today, since this is our first day of backyard adventures, I'm gonna write a little bit in my notebook about how I'm feeling to be outside today. So I'm super excited to start backyard adventures with you. I'm curious about everything that might be in my backyard that I haven't really looked at very carefully or realized before. So I'm feeling excited and curious, and it's really pretty quiet out here, so I feel kind of peaceful too. So I'm gonna, in my notebook, write those 3 words down, and that's gonna help me remember our first day of backyard adventures. So my 3 words are excited, curious, and peaceful. And I'm interested to know what your 3 words are gonna be. So notebook or a file or a folder full of paper, and make a map and draw me a picture of your backyard. Hi, I'm done with my pictures. Are you and your map? Okay, here's my map. You can see where my trees are. The little circles are the trees, and the circles with the little points coming out of them, the little sticks coming out of them, those are the bushes. And so I put those exactly where they are, and this is a garden. And so if you were in an airplane looking down at my yard, that's what it would look like. And then I drew a picture of what it would look like when I'm just standing on it. And here's that picture. So there's my trees. Can you see my trees? There's one. And my green bushes in the back, and my garden. Oh, and there's that other garden, and all the bushes. I didn't know how to what to do for the grass, because our grass is not really full green yet, so I just kind of picked that pale yellow green, and then it has a lot of leaves on it, so those are the little brown things on the ground. So I'm going to put the date on those pictures so I can remember what my backyard looked like when we first started this. And then here's the page in my journal. Remember my 3 words: excited, curious, and peaceful. I really want to see your pictures of your yards, and I'm really interested to know what your 3 words are. So if you are a LENA kid, you can get onto our Facebook, Ask Your Moms and Dads. If you can get on there and they can show me your pictures, send me your pictures, send me your words. If you're a Perusal kid, you've got my email, so please send me all those things because I really want to see what you're doing and what your yards look like. That's it for today for Backyard Adventures, but keep coming because we're going to explore our backyards and we're going to do things like make bird feeders and see if we can get some birds into our yards, and we'll be looking for bugs and noticing what happens when spring comes. So we have lots of things to do in just our very own backyards. We don't even have to go very far. So it's going to be really fun. See you next time.